Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'd request you now to kindly please take your seats. A very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you very much for taking our time and being here with us. And we do apologize for the slight delay to begin with, but we do appreciate your patience as well. Thank you very much for joining us to this first edition of the E4M India Brand Conclave. Exchange for Media formulated the idea of Brand Conclave this year, which focuses largely on brand marketing in India. Today, Indian Brand Conclave 2017 is going to be seeking for challenges in building a strong brand and way forward by inviting industry specialists, brand custodians, marketing professionals to share their viewpoints and their thoughts about the same. Hence, the theme, Changing Landscape of Building Strong Brands, remains as the epitome of discussion during the day. Let me also tell you that India Brand Conclave, this event, will be followed by the Indian Marketing Awards this evening as well, so we hope that you have already registered for the same. And I think this is the time when I can ask you, have you registered? Yes, no, anybody? Yes, no? Okay, this is the time when you can actually respond back and tell us that we are awake. Yes, no? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So now moving on forward, before we move into our discussions for the day and before we start inviting our speakers to talk to you, let me also share a little bit about the Exchange for Media Group, which was set up in the year 2000 with the aim of publishing niche, relevant, and quality publications for the marketing, advertising, and media professionals. Today, Exchange for Media is a one-stop information platform for the entire industry: news, views, analytical information, in-depth analysis of events, and trend forecasting, of course. Exchange for Media publication has a credible and a loyal following with 5 titles in its portfolio, which are exchangeformedia.com, Pitch, Impact, Reality Plus, and samacharformedia.com. And you see, any event such as this is not possible without successful partnership. So at this moment, on the onset, I'd also like to thank our partners for the same, for the first edition of the India Brand Conclave, which is presented by Sakal Media Group, Maharashtra's #1 newspaper and powered by Ann TV. Our exclusive gold partner, ABP News, Aapko Rakhe Aage. Our television partner, Pitara TV, world's first 24/7 Punjabi movie channel for a global audience. And our entertainment partner, Discovery Jeet. If there is one thing which is long overdue in the world of television, it is disruption. And we hereby welcome you to the world where entertainment meets inspiration. Welcome to the world of Discovery Jeet, India's new entertainment channel. Our co-partner, Social Connect, a digital marketing agency, and our webcast partner, 24 Frame Digital, and our video technology partner, Videogram. So before we go any further, we'd also like to show you a few partner films which are extremely enjoyable. Could we please play the films?
बॉलीवुड का सितारा, क्योंकि अब छा गया है चैनल पिटारा फिल्मादा। दिन की शुरुआत होगी पंजाबी सिनेमा के गोल्डन एरा से सुनहरी सिनेमा में। दिन के इंटरवल में 1 बजे लगेगा पिटारा का फिल्मी बफे मूवी ब्रांच में। मूवी मैटिनी में 4 बजे की चाय के साथ एंजॉय कीजिए कड़क बॉलीवुड फिल्में, और रात 8 बजे खुद को करें स्ट्रेस फ्री पिटारा की कैंट फिल्मों के साथ। अब अपने वीकेंड्स बनाइए और भी शानदार पिटारा वर्ल्ड टेलीविजन प्रीमियर के साथ। संडे बनेगा और भी ज्यादा फंडे पिटारा के मॉर्निंग शोज के साथ। बॉलीवुड की हर लेटेस्ट अपडेट होगी आपके पास पिटारा बाइस्कोप में। बॉलीवुड मूवीज और स्टार्स के लिए क्रेजी शौंकन के फिल्मी सपनों की कहानी शौंकन फिल्मादी में। आप सबके प्यार ने बनाया पिटारा को पंजाब की #1 चॉइस। ये हम नहीं, आंकड़े बोलते हैं।
पिटारा सारे आदा पिटारा हो साडा या पिटारा।
मैं श्रापित ना सू महाराज, मेरे चेहरे पे लकवा मार गया से, मैंने सब पता से महाराज।
Thank you, God.
तुम्हें तो भूत दिखते ही थे, अब पब्लिक को भी दिखते हैं।
राम किशन, ये क्या लिखा है सर?
हम कौन हैं? कौन है हम? ईश्वर का वो रूप है जो समय समय पर धरती पर आकर धरती का अंधकार मिटाता है।
पढ़ क्या लिखा है इसमें?
अनपढ़ ज्ञानी मूर्ख, लालटेन दिखाने के बाद भी अमावस का आसमान काला ही रहता है और यही अंधकार तुम्हारी औकात हमेशा रहेगी।
बीच में ना आजिए।
ये सब तेरे कारणों से।
किस जरा से छोरे? प्रश्नों के उत्तर ना चाहिए के?
पानी को बहने से कभी न कोई रोक सका है न रोक पाएगा।
Thank you. Indeed, some powerful and thought-provoking videos there. And thought-provoking indeed reminds me, we requested earlier to keep your mobile phones on the vibration mode or the silent mode, but please do not switch them off. Rather indulge yourself in some tweeting and live tweeting. We would really love you if you do that. Hashtag E4MIBC. Go ahead and tweet during the course of the event. We would really like you to do that. And now to set the tone and context for this day, let me welcome in on stage an entrepreneur, a journalist, an internet evangelist, and a media expert, all rolled into one. Please put your hands together for Mr. Annurag Batra, Chairman, Editor-in-Chief for Exchange for Media and Business World. Please welcome in. You need a round of applause, please.
I'm a loud Punjabi. I normally don't need a mic, but I think it's a large hall. It's my honor and privilege to give a context to the Indian Marketing Awards. We first did the Indian Marketing Awards in 2004. I remember it because my daughter was born on 27th August 2004. And we did this on 6th October 2004. So I kind of remember, we were preparing for it when I remember I went for Radio Red used to be our partner. And I went for an interview on that, talking about Indian Marketing Awards, and I know my daughter was going to be born in a couple of days. I didn't know it was a boy or a girl, but I know we would have a baby. So I remember we started Indian Marketing Awards 13 years back. Since then, the marketing landscape in India, the media and communication landscape in India has changed. For one, I had more hair when I started the Indian Marketing Awards. I can tell you that tonight the Indian Marketing Awards will be very big. Our jury chair, Mr. Anand Krupalu, who's the managing director of Diageo, will be here. He'll be our keynote speaker in the evening, and he will tell you how the jury process happened. And I can tell you that there's no more honest jury process than this. I can tell you a lot of my friends, and I have lots of friends in advertising, marketing, media, called me for various things. I had to politely decline and say I run Business World, I don't run Exchange for Media, which is a truth also. But the process is so honest, so robust that, you know, I don't think any awards process in our domain is that honest and that robust. What makes it robust is our jury. When you see the jury AV in the evening, you'll know that the jury is so heavyweight that they have a point of view on everything. They're themselves practitioners of the art of marketing, communication, and brand building. So they have a very deep dive view on everything, and they're very, very strong human beings. They have a point of view. Also, we did a huge pre-screening. We also brought in a marketing veteran to look at every entry and kind of make sure the entries were presented in a way that the jury could select from the entries. So when tonight you see the winners at the Indian Marketing Award, you'll know these are truly the Oscars of the marketing domain. Mr. Sumit Sani is here, and he's built a fantastic business for Renault in India, and he will talk about that. The leader who leads Airbnb is also here, and he will talk to you about how it takes a new approach to building a new kind of business. And we'll have my friend Shivjeet talking to leaders from the marketing, advertising, communication domain about how to build new age brands in this VUCA environment. Just to contextualize the Indian Marketing Awards, we created the India Brand Conclave to celebrate brands and businesses that live that philosophy that the Indian Marketing Awards celebrate. Let me ask you at this point, who's the world's greatest marketer? Who's India's greatest marketer? Who's India's greatest marketer? Narendra Modi? Yes, I would agree to that. So, you know, I normally don't use PowerPoint presentations because I believe PowerPoint presentations are used by people who are neither powerful nor have a point of view. I'm certainly not one of them. I've used this line before, it's not an original one. But, you know, Narendra Modi is more than a brand. He's more than a brand creator. Whether you like him, not like him, whether he wins an election, not, he's a unique phenomena. And he's not somebody who's just working on the brand. I think he's working on the product itself. Demonetization, GST is an example of what you need to do with the product. And whether you like, I like him, you know, for once he's a Virgo, I like Virgos. Me and my daughter are one, but that's not the reason. I believe the way Narendra Modi is projecting brand India will bring dividends to our country. And just to give you, you know, sometimes when my Shankar, who makes tea for me, brings tea late, I tell him, Modi ji, itni der mein 3 country ho ke aa jate hain, jitni der mein tu chai lata hai. So just to dramatize it, he's been to, you know, 49 countries in 3 years. And a lot of people say, so what? What has come out? The process of investment in building confidence and building focus on India is a long-term process. It's not that he would go for a visit and next day you'll have $2 billion lined up. It's a process. And I can tell you that, you know, when he addresses the Indian community, it does create a connect with India. It reinvigorates the connect with India. It makes sure that they look at India with a new light. And you know, again, I keep saying, do you know that after Modi came to power, most of the honeymooning couples stopped going out of India? You know why? Because he told them, make in India. No, but on a serious note, you know, manufacturing is the only way to make sure you create jobs. You create competitiveness. And a lot of economic experts believe that we've lost the bus on manufacturing. But what he's doing in defense and making sure that defense is such a large manufacturer, though it is mechanized business, you know, it uses robotics, but it still creates large number of jobs. Through his Make in India through improving the ease of doing business. And again, I can tell you, India should be even more in the ease of doing business. The way the ease of doing business index is created, it is not created for India. It is created for other countries. And we never focused on filling it well. So, he's making sure that we actually portray what we have. And I promise you, next year and in the years coming after that, we will jump in ease of doing business. Because fundamentally, in lots of those parameters, we're very strong. He's also, he's taking up visa issues with several countries, making sure we have visa on arrival. And when the Prime Minister of the country talks about the country and the brand that country represents, it does in a world where your, attention is being focused on China, it is being focused on Japan, it is being focused on a lot of other areas which are very lucrative. Doing that works. Also, just during again, all marketers look at ROI. We did something, what happened? India has jumped 30 spots and made it to the top 100 in ease of doing business. I promise you, we'll be substantially higher. I don't know what that number would be. Moody's have upgraded India's rating from BA3 to BA2. And yesterday I was with Mr. Y.B. Reddy, who's the former governor of RBI. And ratings, we again should do better in future. We're fundamentally more solid than any banking system in the world. We're fundamentally the fastest growing market in any domain in the world. So really in rankings, we'll do better because we've started to engage with that community. Also the Nikkei Asia Review, I can't not talk of media brands. Nikkei Asia Review forecast says the Indian economy will be number 3 in the world by 2028. That is 10 years from now. So really, the foreign media, which does influence the decision makers that put money into India, does see India as the only bright spot in the world's economy. And again, I said, he's not just marketing. A lot of people say, oh, Modi's doing another event. He's talking about Startup India. But when the Prime Minister of the country gets onto the stage and he talks about being an entrepreneur, about failing, he's changing the mindset of the families, he's changing the culture of the society, and he's saying it's okay to fail. That mindset change will manifest into successful ventures over a period of time. So really he's changing the product. He's not just marketing the product. The goods and services tax, I was with the Malaysian Prime Minister on 2nd April 2017. And in Malaysia, the GST is flat 6%. And he was telling me, he knows a little bit about politics and economy, both. His father was the second Prime Minister of Malaysia. He was the Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia for a long time before he became the Malaysian Prime Minister. And he was saying that, GST is the right step in the right direction. Of course, he felt that our GST rates were high, though they will progressively come down. He also felt that the slabs should have been simpler. But the fact is that he believed somebody who understands economy and who's bringing GST helped that country endorse the fact that GST was being done for the right reasons in the right manner. And India, you got to do something. You cannot build a consensus, Housing for all. Now, that may, most of us here may have more than one houses, but for a lot of Indians, having a roof over their house is very important. And again, the Americans and the Europeans talk about the inequalities in India, the stark poverty and the wealth that a lot of Indians have. In some way, he's bridging that. He's changing the view of India. And it will take some time. It is Ujjwala, it's written Ujala, but it's Ujjwala. I did make this last minute, so I dictated the PPT, but it's Ujjwala. Now again, a simple call to make sure that you give up subsidies. Wealthy people give up subsidies on the cooking oil, the gas that they get, created opportunities for a lot of Indians who need to get that subsidy. And I can go on. And again, demonetization, yes, in the short term, it has impacted our economy. You cannot deny that. But in the long term, and some economists would argue that in the long term, we are all dead. But in the near long term, I think you will see that this economy will benefit from this combined force of GST, demonetization, and the digital economy that is being created. And it's not, again, it's not just about creating a scheme and creating the success, but it's how it's marketed. For example, after a week, when LPG subsidy was formally announced, I can play this video, but I'm sure most of you have seen it. And again, I wanted to sum it up. What is it about brand Modi that the marketeers can learn? Most of you are very good at your jobs. You build multi-billion-dollar brands, you build businesses. But he's an innovator. He's a big risk taker. One thing, when Modi ji came to power, I went to a professor of mine who is a vice chancellor in Gujarat of a university, and I asked him, so what is that unique quality about Modi? He said two things to me. One, he said he's very big risk taker, and we saw that when he announced demonetization. So he's an innovator of a scale. Second, he's very dispassionate. He's very business-like. He takes decisions without worrying about whether they'll impact. They could go wrong. But he's a guy who moves. So for innovation, you need to be both. You need to believe in something that is so different from what exists. Second, as I keep saying, he has the 3 C's. He has courage, communication, and he captures the mood of the moment. He understands across the world, if Trump has come to power, most of you would want to know why Trump has come to power. I've shared the secret why he's come to power in the past. For those of you who don't know why Trump has come to power, would you like to know why he has come to power? Yeah, he's come to power because my nutritional therapist, Rachna, tells me that when you eat junk food, your brain makes the wrong choices. And the Americans have been eating junk food for 60 years. But that's the non-serious answer. But the serious answer is that there is this belief across a lot of voters that there is too much of concentration of wealth in a certain section, and they've been left behind. So Modi knew that sentiment, and he captured on that. And he believes it's not always about the product and scheme. It is also about the perception your team creates around it, you create around it. The narrative. My friends in the media keep saying Modi is a master of creating a narrative and changing the narrative when he wants. And why not? If you're leading a country and you need to get everyone around you, and in this country only 2 things matter. As my friend Arnab Goswami says in the TV business, what matters is ratings and what matters is advertisers. I'll tell you, in politics 2 things matter. One is the fact is how many votes you get, and second is what you do with that mandate. I think, in my view, we can keep talking about whether he's good or bad. He's moving on. He's not trying to prove something right. He's trying to make it successful. I think that's the difference between Modi and everyone. And we cannot talk about marketing, communication, and advertising without talking about digital. He understands that most of the voters in India, most of the opinion makers are digital natives. Even those of us like Pankaj who are not digital natives, we are digital, so to say, expats. We've kind of went there. He's made sure he leverages digital very well. And most importantly, he appeals to people's emotions. I travel a lot, and I ask the taxi driver in Lucknow, what does he feel? I ask the taxi driver in Hyderabad. I ask the guard. I talk to people who are not from the media, not from advertising, not from communication. And they say, kuch to karenge saab. That's the kind of, he comes across a man with a purpose. Again, I know that a lot of people love him and a lot of people don't like him. He's a very polarizing figure in some way. But the fact is, he comes across as a person who has a purpose. He appeals to the emotive side of people. So I think, these are very simple and basic things that come across from Modi. But the fact is that sometimes we as practitioners and marketers forget. And I keep saying Philip Kotler, ask young people, do you know who's Philip Kotler? And tell them, by the way, he's not an IPL player. He doesn't play for Australia. But when I was in a business school, which is long, long back, we used to read Philip Kotler. And I would call Narendra Modi the marketing guru of a marketing guru. And just to substantiate that, when Philip Kotler, a couple of years when he came to power, was asked about Narendra Modi, he said, can't teach anything to Modi on marketing because he already knows everything. That's what Philip Kotler said. He's practicing, traditionally the 4 Ps. Modi is really living the product, he's living the brand India, and he's also making sure that he communicates his idea of a new India. I also, you know, I have a role as, you know, I spend a dual role. I don't, Naval spends all his time in E4M and runs the E4M. I spend 99% of my time in business world and 1% on E4M coming to the events. But I also want to use this opportunity to plug business world. Since we acquired it 4 years and a month back, and we have a long way to go, another 6 months before we can be perfect in lots of areas. We have huge improvements to make. But I want to kind of tell you that Business World is no longer just a magazine. Sunil, who's our president, and Samir, who's our group CEO, is here. You know, we are aiming for something bigger. One, of course, we are a magazine. In India, print still works, and read the latest issue of Business World. I think we in the print business do a very bad job of marketing ourselves. We have to play on the front foot because print has certain credibility and traction. I have a 13-and-a-half-year-old daughter. I got her a Kindle at 11, and she loves her Kindle. But, you know, she buys 20 physical books a month and reads them, not on her Kindle. She likes to read the newspaper. She shares a birthday with her dad, so she has some of those qualities. Point is, we are doing well in print. This is the last issue of Business World, which was our best B schools. And in magazines, you cannot be newsy, but you can be topical. We do 2-3 covers. We cook 2-3 cover stories. So the second cover was the economic cost of air pollution. What is the business cost of air pollution? Because it's topical. And we're an editorial product. I'm an editorial person, though I didn't go to a media school. I went to an engineering school and went to a business school. So we continue to build and we'll strengthen print. You know, KPMG and PwC say the sunset years for print are 10 years. I've taken 5. I'm safe. I think print continues to grow with us. This is the last current issue which is on stand. We've done 3 covers. Our first cover is on the Lal Bhai group, how it is becoming a non-textile group. He's moving away from textiles into value added, and it's moving from denims. They started with denims. Second is on Sanjeev Goenka and his forays, and what's working and what's not working with them. And third is the second coming of print. So we've done 3 covers in the order. And I don't want to talk about revenues, but you can see the number of ads. We have the highest yields. And I promise you, maybe not this year, next year in our IRS numbers, in every number we'll be number 1. We're already number 1 on stand sales. When we increased the price to 100 rupees 2 years back, everybody scoffed. Now everyone followed. We'll increase the price further. I don't want to lose money per copy. I believe if it's valuable, people will buy. And my subscription team was very worried about, you know, drop in sales and drop in subscription. Today they come and say, oh, it's the right decision. While we continue to build that, we built a digital business which is average 15 million traffic in a month. We want to be a 50 million site in the next 6 months, and the next 12 months, maybe 100 million. Samir comes from Yahoo. He led a 200 crore digital revenue business there. Hopefully we'll build that in the next 3 to 5 years. We are building this clutch of businesses in digital, and we believe in the business of communities. I'm not in the business of magazine, websites, events. We do all that. But we're in the business of building communities. Of course, the main Business World brand is a B2C brand, and tomorrow it may be in 24/7 digital OTT TV. You know, video is what will matter in the future. We may not do a traditional business channel, but we may do a new age. So we are using a legacy brand to create a new age business. And we have a long way to go. I mean, we have lots of things to improve. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you we've built already 11 communities. We've showed 9 here, 2 on the way. We will launch Police World. So I just wanted to use this opportunity because I spend my Business World time now. So I have to use the Business World. So I just wanted to tell the, you know, every media brand sponsors the India Brand Conclave and the Indian Marketing Award. I didn't want to miss this opportunity to tell you what we are doing at Business World. I thank you for being here, and I hope we go back richer in knowledge. We make meaningful connections at the conference. And tonight when you see the jury members and the winners, you'll know that the brands and the people that have been awarded tonight have been awarded through a 3-tiered process of editorial, pre-screening, and a very rigorous, high-powered jury. I thank you for being part of our initiatives and wish you luck in the coming year 2018. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Batra, for setting the tone of the day, and I think brilliantly put together. We definitely not forget the Make in India campaign thought from you.